neurophysiology, how that applies into clinical practice. I think I've really enjoyed kind of the patient demos and being able to see how what we've done in the theory sessions is linked into that, and then trying to apply some of that into the patient practical sessions as well. How about you?
Yes, I agree with all that. It was nice to have a mix of the neurophysiology with the patient demos and the linking of the neurophysiology with the demos and the practicals.
And I think being able to just practice some of that kind of facilitation and just different ways of approaching things with, you know, the different patients that we've got kind of on our caseload. So some of the patients with higher tone or lower tone, and how you can just kind of apply that to different people. I think it's been really useful.
So what did you enjoy about the course?
Well, I've thoroughly enjoyed looking at my analysis skills of the patient, especially the involvement of the trunk and the stability of the trunk to access nice upper limb. Also, what's been very interesting for myself working with upper limbs in my practice is looking how you can stabilise at little finger, so I get this lateral border stable to work through from an index finger, and how important that is in the somatosensory system and body schema.
Yeah, I very much agree with how important postural stability is with sort of better upper limb function. That's really heightened my sort of movement analysis, and I think I'll take that a lot back into practice, even in the more acute setting.
Yeah,
And that we've got to apply it to our patients throughout the week, and see the progress that he's made has been fantastic.
Yeah, nice. And I think linking that in with the lectures that we had at the beginning of the week as well, like linking it into the tracks and what's driving what, and just thinking more about your postural control and the descending kind of more volitional movement systems, and just thinking how that all interacts together as well. I think that's been really useful, and again something I will take back to my patients as well, and thinking about why I'm doing things with them.
Okay. What's been good about the course, do you think?
I think it's been useful to have some time away from work to actually just spend the time practicing handling, getting different techniques for handling. And what I've really enjoyed is how you've made it really functional. So whenever we're finished, like the facilitation, we've made it into a functional practice, which is really applicable for where we work at the moment. And also the stuff about how adaptable it is, about how you can go from quite a high level patient to what you would do if your patient was much more lower toned, more like lower level, how you would change the same principles just to adapt for those patients. So I quite like it was very adaptable.
And it's also been really nice to think about a little bit more in depth about the upper limb and the neurophysiology around that as well. And yeah, I guess just relating it back to our patients and being able to use the techniques that we've learned here and then consolidate them further at work.
It's both reflecting on sometimes, because we're in acute, we don't have the time to be doing as much sensory work as we could do, whereas actually we've both reflected and saying actually maybe some of the assistant time we could show our assistants just some of the basic sensory stuff that would free us up to then be able to do some more like facilitation once they've been warmed up from a really sensory perspective. So it's quite applicable across.
I suppose it's that reminder of how important the sensory stimulation is in terms of creating the movement, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's been a great course. I've been delighted that I came along onto it. There's been a lot of learning points, and I think the repetition through the lectures and into the practical and into the patient demos has been super. I think for me a particular learning point was I've always known the importance of sensory information, but the somatosensory information as well, and just how effective that is. And when you feel that in the practicals, as the other students work on you, that's great. And also take the task analysis practical today, where we worked in groups and had a task, decided how to adapt it and facilitate through the structure of the task, not just hands-on. It was really excellent. So thank you all very much for a super course.